Hey you! Yes, you! What would you do if you found out that your husband was cheating on you with your best friend while you were dying from cancer? Well, have we got a special series for you. Marry My Husband is a wild title but makes a lot of sense. Now stay with me here. We follow Ji-woon living her absolute worst life imaginable. 37 years old and married, and we start the series with her last days, as she's dying from cancer. Not only that, but her husband, Min-hwa Park, is somehow the worst of the worst. While his wife is dying from cancer, he is straight up ghosting her. But hold on, there's more, as Min-hwa Park is really gunning for that worst webtoon husband prize, alongside Sovyeshu from the Remarried Empress and Lore Olympus's Zeus. However, Min-hwa Park has one more card to play, as while Jinhwa was living out her last couple days in the hospital, she decides to ditch and head home one last time, where she meets a nice man who reminds her of her late father who met a similar fate. And when she finally gets home, she sees her best friend and her husband having an affair, for lack of a better term, in fear of getting demonetized. After seeing them in the act, and confronting them peacefully by throwing hands, her husband decides to defend his lover over his wife by pushing off his wife, accidentally shoving her into the corner of a table, killing her. Now, while this series might seem like it's over already, turns out there's more to this series than just our main character's last couple days, as after her death she wakes up 10 years in the past, back when she worked at a different company and was only dating her terrible, terrible husband with his terrible, terrible face. With all her memories intact. That's right, she time traveled. Now with her future known to her, she decides to do what we've all wanted to do: get revenge. That's right! Now you can live out the dream of getting petty and ultimate revenge on those who've wronged you through the eyes and actions of Ji-won, deciding to get her future husband and her best friend exactly what they wanted, making the perfect match made in hell, using him to play the stock market to make it rich, and using her best friend to get her boyfriend off her back. While you might think this series is like other series in which our female lead dies and travels back in time to either get revenge on their husband or their distant family by becoming wildly successful to shatter their expectations of the toxic family or friends have on her, but if you're into that kind of series, then this series is made just for you. While the premise might be wild, a confusing premise is made up for by understandable and relatable main characters. Ji-won isn't perfect. She gets mad, she wants revenge, she holds grudges. She's not a perfect character. Her first reaction to seeing her husband having an affair is to throw hands, which I'm sure is something you would all do if you caught your partner cheating with your best friend. She was disgusted when 10 years into the past they were acting all chummy with her. This series is made for you to connect and cheer for Ji-won, as she gets a one-up over her toxic boyfriend and best friend. There's a reason that this series is the hot new thing on Webtoon, with the series all about toxic people getting their just desserts, and an understandable main character. It's no wonder that the series is attracting a lot of popularity. But there's also a lesson to learn just for you. Live your best life right here, right now. While Ji-won travels back in time, I doubt you and I will have the same luck. So with only one life to live, spend it with the people who actually care about you, and live for yourself. Not with dumb people who are going to cheat on you or a best friend who's going to betray you right off the bat. And make sure to read Marry My Husband, updating every week on the Webtoon app.